This will be for the con exercise. Divide quadratics by linear expressions, no remainders. So they want us to evaluate this fraction here. And I understand that you can factor and cancel numbers, but I want you to do these the long way. So we're going to divide these just like we did back in grammar school, okay? Just as an example, if you had, and forget about this problem for a minute, if you had 17 divided by 5, you would put the denominator out front, and you would do 5 into 17. That's the numerator. Okay, so what times 5 would be 17? Well, the closest is 3, and you would say 3 times 5 is 15, and then subtract 17 minus 15, that's 2. So the remainder would just be 2. Okay, now in this case, there's going to be no remainders, but we're still going to divide this in the same way that we did in elementary school. So I'll write the bottom part first, x minus 10. And then the top part, you want the biggest exponents first and then going in decreasing order. It's already written that way, so this is x squared minus 12x plus 20. Okay, and we're going to say what times x will give us x squared? Well, that's just x. Okay, and that x has to be distributed to both terms here. X times x is x squared, and x times negative 10 is negative 10x. Okay, and then we're going to subtract this whole thing. So you want to use parentheses when you subtract. Okay, x squared minus x squared, that's just 0, that's gone. Negative 12x minus negative 10x. Remember, two negatives make it positive. So negative 12x plus 10x is going to be a negative 2x. And then you bring down the next term, which is positive 20. Now we do the same thing that we did before. We're going to say what times x gives us negative 2x. Well, that's just going to be negative 2. Okay, and distributing that negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 10 is positive 20. Okay, so as you can see, we got the same expression here. So if we subtract these two, the remainder is just going to be 0. Okay, so we don't need to write a remainder. And the final answer is just this right here, x minus 2. So x minus 2, final answer. That goes in the box. All right, just click in the box, type it in. All right, these are all basically the same. And like I said, I know you can do it by factoring, but I'd rather you do it the division way because we're going to get into that later. So the denominator is written first, x minus 4. And that is divided into the numerator, x squared minus 8x. And plus 16. All right, so we're going to say what times x will give us x squared? Well, that's just positive x. Okay, distribute that. X times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. We're going to subtract this whole thing, so use parentheses. X squared minus x squared is just 0. Negative 8x minus negative 4x. The two negatives make it positive. So negative 8x plus 4x is going to be negative 4x. And And you bring down the 16, positive 16. Okay, once again, we're saying what times x will give us negative 4x? Well, that's just negative 4. Okay, distributing negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Okay, we got the same thing on both. So when we subtract, it's just going to be 0. So the remainder is just 0. And our final answer is just this right here. X minus 4. So that just goes in the box. Click inside and type x minus 4. All right, last one. Why don't you pause and try this one? And I'll give you a hint on this one here. We're going to write the denominator first, like we always do, x minus 3. But in the numerator, we want to write the exponents in decreasing order without skipping any. So I'm going to have the x squared first. And since there's no x term, I am going to add a 0x. Okay, I'm allowed to add 0x because anything times 0 is 0. And I can add 0, it won't change anything. And then minus 9. Okay, so really I didn't change anything. It's still x squared minus 9, but I just added a 0x in the middle. This way the exponents count down. See, this is x squared, this is x to the first, and so on. All right, so I didn't want to skip the 0x. So please try it like this. Okay, what times x gives us x squared? Well, that's just x. Distributing, x times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. You want to subtract this whole thing, so use parentheses. X squared minus x squared is 0, and 0 minus negative 3 is the same as 0 plus 3. So 0 plus 3x is going to be 3x. And then you bring down the next term, negative 9. Once again, what times x gives us 3x? Well, that's just positive 3. Okay, distributing, 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Okay, same thing, right? If we just subtract this, we're just going to get 0. So the remainder equals 0. And that should be the case for all the problems on this exercise. So the final answer is just x plus 3. So in the box, just type x plus 3. Okay, and just remember, if there's no x term in the middle, just make it 0x. This way they can count down by ones for the exponents.